Kirby, what are you doing? Kirby, I reset the game. You're at full health. You don't need that Maxim tomato. Seriously, Kirby, you really don't have to exert yourself like that. And it's all downhill from there. So anyway, this is Yogurt Yard. Pretty much the shortest 6-stage level in the game, and honestly not really one of my favorites. It's not terrible, but the level design could be better for the most part. And of course, like the past few levels, there are of course a fair number of secret switches to look out for, so make sure to check everything ever. For example, after I'm done plowing my way through here, oh well, I just managed to find this very cleverly placed secret area. I mean, I really don't know how I found it. That was so subtle, man. I don't know how I ever found that, but whew, good thing it's over now. Now, while I'm not the biggest fan of most of the level or stages in here, I do like this stage in particular, because it kind of acts as a neat little transition stage, because, you know, in the last world, or level, we were in the sky, and we start this level in the sky, and then, of course, we come all the way down to this less in the sky area. I don't really know how to describe Yogurt Yard. I mean, I would call it a mountainy, cavey area, but as per usual, it doesn't really stick to one theme. Because as per usual, the designers were like, screw sticking to one theme. We're just gonna put a bunch of different themed levels in here, because we can. And this seems to be the museum of abilities that do well in hands that aren't mine, so I'm gonna pick neither of them up. You know, the sad thing is, this isn't really that good of a stage, but I'm pretty sure I know the entire level. Basically, we're just going to go to the right for a while, and then we're going to do the unthinkable and go to the left for a while. I know, unheard of in a platformer. And I am going to do my best to keep ice, because, like Freeze, this is a pretty rare ability, I gotta say. Unlike in other Kirby games, again, and in fact, in this game it might also be oh, coconut. Yeah, I knew that was there, so if you still have a parasol somehow, well, your head is protected. But anyway, yeah, as I was saying, ice is very rare. In fact, it might be a bit more rare than Freeze, even though I said that one was pretty much the most rare. Again, this one appears pretty often in later Kirbys, but it rarely ever appears in this game, really. It's very hard to get, and I don't think it actually appears in any museums, if I remember correctly. And wow, go me. Well, so much for keeping ice. Ah well, was a good run while it lasted. Alright guys, check this out. Oh man, that was a really difficult one-up to get. Oh man, this stage is just so good at hiding all its secrets, man. I just don't know how I find them. Ah well, Bonkers is actually pretty easy because this is a very wide open room, except I kind of almost screwed myself there, and I was kind of hoping I'd get Hammer. I mean, that was a really awesome way to kill him and all, but at the same time, you know, I didn't want to kill him. Well, I wanted to kill him, but then I wanted to eat his corpse so I could gain his hammer. A smaller version, of course. You know, I can't just take his hammer normally. But anyway, yes, another short stage. See what I mean? All these stages are pretty short, and also filled with very easy-to-find one-ups, because seriously, apparently you need those. I mean, I've only ever died once, and that was totally on purpose, if you'll remember correctly. Anything... Oh, hey, look. It's this game. Alright, well, that went well. So, what do we have... Oh, that is not a very pleasant-looking background. Ugh. Apparently we are floating over a lake of tomato juice or something, and those mountains in the background are exploding. Or volcanoes, rather. Whatever they are red, and let's just get out of here. I don't like that color palette in the slightest. I just don't think it looks good. Ah well, continuing on. Oh, this is a forest stage. Is this the one with the mini-boss? I don't think it is, because I don't remember getting Wheel in that section. I think that's a different palette section. Oh! Well, that didn't go over well. Sorry, Wheel, you gotta leave yet again. Well, this isn't one of the levels I remember, but, actually, wait. Laser guys, right? Okay, this isn't a, stage with a secret switch. Might look like there's a secret switch, but no, there's not. It's just that rock dude. Over here, and actually that's kinda generous. You can't really miss the Maximum Health Tomato, and you can miss the 1-up if you suck. See, I could have died there, but I didn't. That guy was terrible, so I was really determined to kill him. And oh look! Here is the only area where this parasol's floatability is actually useful, except it's not really the best thing for it. You can use your normal floatability to just get by it relatively easily, and in fact, that spike always gets me, so... The problem with Parasol is it just sort of sways back and forth, which kind of makes that section harder than it actually needs to be. In fact, maybe I should actually try just floating down normally at some point. It might actually be easier. Oh look, there's an arena right there, and they're showing it off. I wonder if we'll be able to find a secret switch that leads to it. Nah, just kidding. That arena's not actually accessible, it's just there to taunt you. I've never actually heard of a video game doing that, but if one did, I really doubt Kirby would be the one to do so. I think we can all agree that that, right there, was a brilliant performance. Even though I almost screwed it up. The Russian would give it a 4, but whatever. Anyway, there's no big door for this Meta Knight fight, however, he does have his soldiers set up very well. They were all synchronized and everything, and, you know, they don't really look like they're actually trying to hit me. They look more like they're trying to dazzle me. Like, Meta Knight was just like, okay guys, this time we are going to impress Kirby with our superior sweeping skills. Everybody sweep at once! Meta Knight, is that really an effective battle strategy? Yes, it is! Now sweep! Sweep like you've never swept before! Oh well, anyway, easy ambush. That was hardly anything at all. I'm still not taking ball, especially in this area. Is this the area with, yeah, lots of enemies, lots of squids, lots of these guys? This would be a terrible area for ball. I would just fall into that pit almost immediately. Actually, isn't there a secret over here? Like a door or something? Oh, yeah. Very well hidden over here. Certainly didn't notice that. Well, that was easy enough. So anyway, that arena's unlocked, and, you know, on one hand that was easy to find, but on the other hand, it's probably because it was fairly important. And I got my sword back, but anyway, yeah, it is pretty damn important, at least if you want to unlock some other secret switches with relative ease. We'll see what it is in a second, and by the way, in case you hadn't actually noticed before, after Kirby falls for a while, he'll sort of put his head downwards. If you hit an enemy when Kirby's doing that animation, you'll actually damage the enemy instead of receiving contact damage, making areas like that where you had to fall downwards actually pretty damn easy. Anyway, here in this arena, we actually get a hammer ability. Well, technically, Bonkers is over here. We don't just get a hammer ability. We have to kill someone for it first. Kill the giant monkey. And receive his powers. I don't think we need hammer for this stage. Oh no, in fact, I'm actually going to be ditching this. This forest area has a fairly annoying secret switch to get. All you have to do is keep low to find it. Ah, there it is, right there. Alright, this one's annoying to get. Basically, you have to grab high jump, then get up there, and then use fire to light that the rope. It's not that bad to get, especially if you take high jump in beforehand, and then come back in, and then you don't have to suck in high jump before getting, you know, actually getting fire. It took me a couple tries to actually get that one, but it's not too bad, it's just the timing can be kind of tricky, and of course you probably shouldn't bring an ability beforehand because that's kind of what screwed me over the first time. Anyway, the rest of the stage, I think this is actually where we find the last last mini-boss, or last new mini-boss rather. We still fight mini-bosses later on, of course, but this is the last new one who appears fairly late. But he is recurring, so I'm pretty sure this is it, right? I'm not just talking out of my ass and getting it all wrong. Yep, this is the warehouse-ish area, which for some reason is on a bunch of clouds. And this, of course, is where we get to meet Fire Lion. Now, Fire Lion isn't as difficult as, say, Fan or Bugsy, but he can be fairly tough. And, of course, like those bosses, he has a grab, in which he will play with you like a chew toy or something. And for beating him, you don't really get anything too impressive, you get burning. I mean, I like this ability and all, but, you know, other mini-bosses give you some pretty rare abilities, and you can get burning pretty often, so it's not terribly useful. And also, burning is very ill-suited for this area, other than, I guess, making bacon. But yeah, slopes and burning do not get along well. Slopes and laser, on the other hand, do get along well. However, it's a bit late for that, given the stage has ended. And what do you know? Almost 12 minutes in, and we're already to stage 6. See, I told you this one was short. Anyway, I believe we're actually going to need hammer for this one, so let me just pick one up. And now I got one. So, yep, this is an area where we need hammer. This is also a fairly short stage, but it is a bit longer if you're going to bring in hammer and try to find the secret switch. Be very careful, try not to rush, otherwise you'll probably be hit. And also, if you're not planning on using hammer, don't use the wheel ability in this area, because you see that pit? You use wheel, and you'll probably fall into it. Bad idea. It's not a bad idea for the next area, though, so if you do want to bring it in, then it's not completely terrible for this stage. However, it will be useless for actually finding the secret switch, which I need to do. Now, this area was tricky for me as a kid, because, right here, we've got to Mario our way across these gaps by dashing, and I didn't know you could do that as a kid, so I had to float under them, and if you can imagine, floating under those spikes kinda wasn't the best idea. But that wasn't too bad, so let's just proceed. And of course, of all the things that could have possibly hit me, I get nailed by a Waddle Dee. Hey. Master obstacle, most huggable thing in a 5-mile radius. Anyway, yes, you need hammer for that, because those metal blocks can't be broken by anything else. Because, of course, you can't use stone or burning underwater. And even if you could use burning underwater, I don't think it can actually break metal blocks that are beneath it, so it would be useless anyway. And I just wanted to teach those guys a lesson a second time. Alright, well, hopefully I don't get nailed by another Waddle Dee. Very nice. And, yes, that was the last stage of this level. No, there's no secret 7th stage. It's just the boss, which also really isn't that bad. So, basically, this is Heavy Mole, and he is an auto-scroll stage, sort of, except those claws can hit you. He can slow down, speed up, go down. Just make sure to keep up with him. He also launches missiles. If he shoots the red missile at you, don't eat it. You'll get the sleep ability, and more than likely die. Yeah, see, if I was sleeping, I'd be dead right there. If he shoots a gold missile at you, however, eat it, because it will give you hammer. And if you hadn't noticed, hammer kinda puts a dent in him. Like that. So yeah, that was Heavy Mole. Whoop-de-doo. Guess we might as well dance on his grave, just for the hell of it.